Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to your September 2024 general tarot reading. It's Sagittarius Yogini. Okay, let's see what we got here. It's so funny because I got this card for another fixed sign. No, actually, it wasn't even a fixed sign. Okay, let's see. I'm going to talk about what this can mean for you. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Two of Wands. This is a card of perhaps choosing between two careers, two something. It could even be two people. But I feel like, well, the wands are fire signs. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius are the fire signs. And but there's I think with Taurus, since you're an earth sign, there's always that possibility that you are really in this state where you want to have more passion in your life, because you might have mastered the side of life that's very grounded, and that you have everything the way that you want it, but then it's like almost like a golden cage, because it's like, okay, but where's the juiciness in life, that thing that really lights me up? And we have here in the past position the Ace of Wands, which is like a passion project. And this can, like I said, this can also be about relationships where you might be with a person who is very solid, but you don't feel that spark. You don't feel like, and one thing I have to say about fire too is that it's about expansion. Okay, so growth. And I wouldn't say that earth and fire signs are the most compatible if you just like look at it purely from what each element represents. But we're not just our sun signs, we have all different types of influences, so it's never about one thing. But the one thing that a Taurus person can provide to somebody who is more of a fiery spirit is that sense of groundedness, and they can give you the sparks of inspiration. So there is something that each person offers. But the Ace of Wands in the past position can even be like some sort of affair or attraction. By the way, um, this can be something that is not necessarily consummated. It's not that if you're married and you have somebody, you have a new coworker that you find this physical attraction to, which the wands can be that kind of lust or physical passion, um, that you're acting on it. It might just be that you just feel very strongly about that. But I don't, honestly, I don't think it would be just about physical attraction, even though Taurus is a sign that's notorious for really getting into that. I feel that the person has this very, I'm going to probably embarrass myself if anyone is a native French speaker. You could be from Canada, right? Be a native. Joie de vivre. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, or the joy of life. And, you might be so focused in on making sure your world on the material level is taken care of, but then it's like going through the motions if you don't have this thing to propel you. Also, the wands are about growth, and when we are experiencing expansion, there's an excitement, because I think that's just like the natural inclination of the human being is to want that kind of thing. It's not so much being greedy or just never being satisfied. I think it's just that that is the principle of life. Life is always about expansion. Think about a plant that you have that started out with maybe a couple of shoots, and now it's just like it keeps growing and growing. You have to keep repotting it because the growth is there. If it stops growing, it's probably dead. So it's very interesting. So what's coming in is the Hanged One, which is the Hanged Man in other decks. This is very woke and exclusive. But I do really like this deck. I've been gravitating towards it. Not because it is basically, it's very much like the Rider Waite deck, but it has kind of these updated images that make it more inclusive, diverse, but also kind of quirky. I like the quirkiness of it. Like she's got fishnet stockings. Like, how did somebody think of that one? So anyway, this card is about, and this is the right, I'm always like confused. I'm like, am I holding this up the right way? Yeah, this is the right way. This is about feeling as if you're in a state of limbo sometimes. It doesn't have to be, though. It could be simply letting go and letting God, which means as a Taurus, because I have Taurus rising, by the way. I think that the Taurus tendency is to try to, makes it's a form of being controlling, trying to like hold on to something as it is, and if it's not working, just like double down. And that's not something that is advisable when you're trying to manifest something, because and I'm not saying that's true 100% of the time. Sometimes persistence does pay off, but I think a lot of times people that are unwilling to just allow things to happen as they will, while you still maintain what your desire is, that they are more successful in the long run because they're not resistant. So it's just about like, okay, life, have at me. I'm good to go. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Ultimately, it doesn't matter what the outcome is, what happens, whether I get what I want. It doesn't matter because I'm still going to be happy no matter what. That's going to be, because, it's like there's that saying, not my will, but God's will. And I think our will is God's will. I think what we want, God wants for us. But sometimes we don't know what we want. We think we want something that we really, at a higher level, don't want. But at the conscious level, we don't realize that. But it is also a card of like being in limbo. And sometimes I really feel like if this is about a relationship, it could be about a job offer or something like that, where it's like we're being jerked around. Because this could be even like a job offer that you have to mull over. Or if you have this passion project or this great idea that you're initiating, this is an initiating energy, you still may be like, oh wow, should I do this or not? Should I just stay where I am? And the Two of Wands can be a card of relocating too. Actually, that's interesting because the World card could be, about like travel being blocked for some reason. That's only one possibility, but I got this card in the same exact position for another sign that I just did. I forgot which one. And what I was saying is that, I think it was Libra, but what I was saying is that, I didn't mention it in that reading, but see the infinity symbol, the sideways 8 at the top and bottom. Really, this is a card of the ending, but the end is the beginning. When you end something, you automatically end a cycle, but you go into a new one. If you get divorced, you end that marriage, but you begin your single life. And it's a new chapter in your life. Well, if you're blocking that, it's because you don't want to change. And I do feel that this is something that Taurus does tend to get ensnared in, is this resistance to change. And so the remedy for that is embracing growth, which the wands represent. It's not about like trying to find the safest thing to do all the time. It also, in terms of people that you're involved with, if you're involved with somebody and it's a very predictable relationship and it might be very harmonious, but you feel there's something inside of you that feels that something isn't right, that you're not really meant to be with that person, it's probably because you don't feel like that person is providing that growth. That if you were to have a relationship for decades, that you're constantly shaping each other by, you're influencing each other. Not that you're trying to. That's a very important distinction. But you just are, because you're growing in your way. And if you're meant to grow together, that other person will be inspired by your growth. Even if they don't take up the same hobby or they're not as interested in it, they still will be like impressed that you have these things that really are meaningful to you. And, there's always that couch potato, the inner couch potato of the Taurus person that you have to fight against. And I don't really mean like, oh wow, it's a big fight, but you have to be mindful of, because Taurus does like to take things easy. Let me tell you, I'm so there. But it's important to, challenge yourself. Not do the same old, not always eat the same foods. Do things that are different, because you'll find that when you embrace growth, growth finds you. And that means new opportunities. But if you have like a job offer and they're like, kind of like, it seems like they're always pushing back the day when you're supposed to start or when you're going to have the interview, you might start to feel like you're being jerked around. The outcome is the Page of Cups. This is a card of something new. It's funny, Pisces is presented here. But it might be, and I've been saying that we have this lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 17th. So that might be alluding to that in some way. And the point of that is that might be the timing of this, but the Page of Cups can be the beginning of a new love relationship. Also, it could, for other people, could be the beginning of a new creative project or a new job that is involved with healing or artistic endeavors. All right, that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the information is below. Thanks for watching. Bye.